Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
What's up, friends? Welcome back to the TV Terminal. My name is Adam Vale, Senior Editor over at thecoalition.com.
My name is Lawrence, a.k.a. A Punk with Toys on all the social medias.
And we are back. This is Dexter Resurrection, Season 1, Episode 6, Cats and Mouse. Oh, man. So much is going on. Real quick housekeeping. Thanks again, everybody. We got a bunch of new people subbed and checking out the channel. That's fantastic. We are new. This is a new channel. We're like 5 months, 6 months around there, close to 6 months.
It was
March.
Yeah, so right around March.
Right around March. All right.
We can't say we're new much longer.
No, that's gonna get old, and we already got some OGs. We got Ty and a few other people that have stuck around from some of our other shows and are still here, which is great. This is what we were planning on. That was the whole point of this channel. We're talking about shows that we enjoy watching, and then just find like-minded people and create a community talking about shows we like. That's it. And as you see, I jump in there. Lawrence jumps in there. My brother will jump in for some of the other stuff that we're covering. That's what it's all about, people. So just want to give a quick thank you for everybody that's liked and subscribed through this whole thing. So it's been great. It's definitely
and it's just so anyone understands, it means an awful lot when you do hit like and you do subscribe. Again, a lot of people don't realize, like, they watch a channel, a YouTube channel, and they start getting stuff, but they forget to subscribe. But YouTube knows the algorithm. They're like, hey, but when you're a small channel and you're trying to hit that 1,000 mark, when you're trying to get to that 4,000 watch hours, it's huge. Once you hit that, then you kind of settle back and be like, hey, I'm not worried about it. But you want to get to that monetization mark.
Have you ever seen Inside Out? The kids,
yes.
Remember the bing bong when they were trying to get out?
Yeah.
And that's the way I depict this whole situation. We're at the bottom with a whole bunch, and it's like bing bong, and we're trying to shoot this out, bing bong. Hopefully we get over and we get back onto the mainland and we crawl out. And that's what I see with this. But you know, we're getting there. People are watching, people are following, the subbing, they're doing the whole shebang. Thank you all. That's really what I want to say. Thank you. All right, so let's get into this.
Wait a minute, before we do, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you're notified every time we drop any type of video, because we're doing Dexter, but you and your brother, you guys started a new show.
Yeah, we got Chief of War. That's Jason Momoa. That's a historical piece about the unification of the Hawaiian Islands. That is fantastic. Already a bunch of people in the comment section just talking about it who are really into history, which is pulling me in. I know some of the history, but of course I'm not from the islands. So to them, this is like, common knowledge, to the point. It's like, we all know about this. And John Young and James Cook and all that. If you're familiar with any of those names, they pop up, at least in reference. We've seen some of them get popped up, and I'm sure a few more are going to come along the way. So fantastic. That's one that Josh and I are covering. We're finishing up Revival. Hopefully, I heard they were at San Diego Comic-Con. Somebody had commented that he was there and he saw the panel. That could be a good sign. Maybe we'll get a season 2. Not sure. That Paramount hasn't released, so I should say NBC hasn't released the numbers regarding that. So don't know, but yeah, we'll see. But you know what? We brought this up before. What is guaranteed is Dexter Resurrection. There will be another season, maybe a few more seasons. I think they're going to stick with the Resurrection name, but the showrunner has openly said, yeah, this has been doing great. He's on board for it. Michael C. Hall also said, hey, thumbs up. I'm on board for more. So you don't have to worry about that. So that's great. Now, question is, we don't know. Would they stay in New York?
How crazy is it that they do a show that went 7 seasons, 8 seasons? Dexter, 6 seasons, something like. I don't know. It went a long time.
Yeah.
It went a long time. It went away. Then they came back and they did a one season thing.
New Blood.
Blood. Then went away. Then they came back with a prequel.
Original.
And now here they are back with the second. but
Yeah.
he's still giving me hope for another Justified series.
Oh, look at I mean, this I'm sure for all other showrunners of older shows and networks with old IPs, I'm sure they're all saying it's like, hey, Dexter's back, Buffy's back. Let's bring back Hercules, legendary stories. Remember that? Let's go even further.
I
How
loved
about
Hercules.
Xena?
I
Oh,
liked Hercules more than Xena.
Xena.
I know people are not fans of Kevin Sorbo because of his politics. I don't care. I thought
Yeah, he
whatever.
was.
He was a ridiculous. He was a ridiculous Hercules because he wasn't that big, but in actuality, that guy is a big.
Yeah, he was a tall dude and very
Yes.
muscular. Yeah, he was
Yeah,
definitely,
and
you
I
know.
like that show. Bruce Campbell was in it.
Bruce Campbell was in it. Yeah.
Very
Now,
fun. Very fun.
makes you wonder. So one of the other things we're thinking about, we'll see later on in the fall when it comes to Spartacus. Spartacus has come back. So question people, are you into Spartacus? Because that's something that we're thinking about. Because
I am
that
not.
looks you're not thinking about Spartacus?
I've never seen Spartacus.
Holy all right. I don't even want to go on a rant with
Hey,
that, but that was
listen, all you have to do is go to my YouTube channel and you'll go like, "Oh, how do you have time to do anything?"
that is true. That's true. You do a lot. You do a
And
lot. But
and it's not a career. I work, all right?
yeah. All right, people, we did it. We got into let's start this episode. All right. There we go. So we start off with Dexter cleaning up. He's living in the basement at Blessing's house. They don't say where. It's either Brooklyn or Queens. That's from a New Yorker. That's what I'm saying. Based on the layout in the streets, he doesn't go into it, but whatever. We see Blessing come out. He looks sad. We could put two and two together, right? At this point, we had just saw the whole interaction with Dexter and Blessing's mom.
Yeah, I wasn't like shocked when they said that, when Blessing said that his mom passed away. You're like if his mom wouldn't have passed away in during the season, I wouldn't have thought too much about it. But I wasn't like, oh my god, how did this? They foreshadowed it.
They were setting it up when they had the whole one-on-one, and the mom said, "Hey, I'm ready whenever that time comes.
Yeah,
I'm here with my family. I'm at home. This is where I would want that to happen. Sooner or later, doesn't matter. But we know that they were already setting it up. It was going to happen, and sure enough, it does.
Yeah.
So that's pretty big there.
I'm gonna say this right now, and we'll get into it more. There was a reason for it. Once again, like there's a reason for her to pass away. I think it may have gone on a little too much, but during his talks with Dexter throughout this whole episode, it is foreshadowing like how death is perceived.
Yeah, no. But I think it's also setting things up that something's going to happen to Blessing as well. I don't know why. I feel like something else, or they're going to throw another curve because it's almost a superhero type situation where I can't get close to people because then they become targets, right? That's the whole Spider-Man.
I mean, I could see that.
And even we'll get into it when he starts having that heart to heart with him later on in the apartment. But yeah, so speaking of heart to heart, we see that it looks like some time has passed also because then Harrison calls and they're buddy now. Right, that conversation that was in the last episode,
and that's what I mentioned to you while we were watching, and I was like, now they're all buddy. He kind of walked away, but they don't really give a timeline of how much time has passed. But it could have been that much. But we dealt with Reacher, and time had no meaning whatsoever.
As long as we didn't see snow on the ground, I think if we would have saw snow on the ground, I'm like, whoa, what is happening here? Did he really? We do have a window to dance around though, because Leon said that they were here for like 2 weeks, right? This is like a special event. That's why he had everybody together 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
All right. So we know it's
3
within 3 weeks. All right. So this is definitely all happening within a month's time. That's fine. All right. So, Harrison decides to come over, hang out. He explains to him. Hey, yep.
Well, no, when he's on the phone with him, he said he's literally asking him, and I thought it was a joke, but upon watching the next sequence, he's asking Harrison, "Is it appropriate to wear a hoodie to awake?" And he was like, "No," and he was like, "It's a black hoodie," right, and then he just magically shows up with a suit and says, "You'd be surprised what people leave at the hotel."
That is true. I'm sure people leave a lot of things at the hotel. The little side thing. I used to work at a nightclub. There was this one called Webster Hall. Really nice nightclub. Anyway, I did a bunch of different jobs there, but one of the things was a coat check at the bottom. So people would leave their coats all the time, and we had a section in the corner, and it was like, hey, we're leaving that for a month. If within a month no one comes back, then we can sell it, grab it, whatever you want. And it was just, I mean, leather jackets, trench. You think about it, it was there. Very rarely anyone came back because they were probably so pissed drunk they forgot where they even left it, or if
Yep.
they even brought their jacket at all. So it does happen. It does happen. But yeah, so he comes to hang out though, because then instead that was kind of a short turnaround. But then again, anyway, we get Charlie. It's a quick sequence, but get Charlie.
But quickly they have like a nice heart to heart, and then he teaches them how to like tie his ties, like your grandfather showed me, and he has like this little saying, and again, like it was just like a little heart to heart. You're really getting this feel like they have this chemistry now where they're starting to understand one another.
Yeah. That's right. That's when he came up with that whole little comment that he hasn't had to get prepared or do any of this stuff since Rita, since the wake. But he also starts talking about his two moms. You know, he had Hannah and then Rita. And if we know Hannah, that was a serial killer girlfriend at the time, and at the end of the last season took Harrison to Argentina, and that was that whole thing. But while that's happening, Charlie, she's trying to figure things out. Like, all right, well, we haven't heard from Red since the whole Lady Vengeance getting arrested. She goes over to Red's apartment. Because she's broken in there before, so she goes and she takes a look around. Now, I told you, I think it was set up the way it was. It was a bowl, and it just things looked disheveled. It looked like someone got up and out in a hurry, and I felt that was intentional because he knew she would show up.
Dexter doesn't do very much that isn't intentional, and when he does, I think the actor does a wonderful job of being like stuttered and not knowing what to say. But you're absolutely right. I think everything was kind of set up when they do show back up there. But I don't think he was expecting the phone call.
Well, when we get to that phone call, though, we'll get there. So yeah. So sure enough, she looks around. She doesn't see anything. Right? She was like, "This is it." She gives a call to Leon. He's not here.
Yeah, he's an MIA.
Okay? He's MIA. Right? So we'll see what happens with that. Yeah, but go ahead.
Then we go back to the wake.
Mm-hmm. Now, I've been to all kinds of wakes, and I think I went to one that was somewhat upbeat like this, but not off the bat. Of course, it was somber, people mourning, and then afterwards they're like, you know what? We got that out. Let's celebrate this person's life. And then they turn on music, and we only played the music that she had liked. You know, it was all good music. It was a lot of stuff from the 80s and stuff like that. But still, it was like this stuff that she would have wanted to hear during her time when she was alive. And then we celebrate. But yeah, no, once they get in there, he's preparing Harrison. It was like, oh, get ready. It's going to be a lot of crying. First time you meet them. And no, they're playing music. They're celebrating. And Blessing said, we're celebrating her life. You know, she had a full life, which she did. What, 80
right,
something,
so
right?
There's usually a wake after, or not the party, but the dinner after, and that's normally where you get what you see this. I don't know about you guys. I know here in Michigan we have funeral homes. That's where your wake is at. I don't think that I've ever seen. I'm not
in the home. Yeah, you could do it in the home.
You could.
I don't think.
Why would you? You have. Again, like your doors are not made for a casket to go through.
Yeah, that's true. You know what? That's a good point. How did they get that casket?
They ordered it from Costco. They brought it over.
There we go. Maybe they assembled it. It's one of those like, oh, you assemble like a piano, you know, you assemble it inside. It's like, oh, let's get out. Oh, we gotta disassemble. How do we do it?
I just got trained on a new copier. It's one of the bigger ones. We had an old client. Hell, you probably heard of them. What is it? Shore Mortgage, or they're the biggest mortgage company in the world now. They're not called Shore Mortgage. They're United Wholesale.
Nice.
Anyway,
they'll be a sponsor soon. Keep going.
I doubt that. Anyway, they had a copier, like we had a small one, but they had this big one. We called it the tree shredder. They finally were getting rid of it, and they built the room around it. So they had to literally like kind of cut pieces off of it to get it out in sections.
Yeah, you see that some things it's just yeah.
And
So that's a whole other question there about how they got this
yeah,
in.
but
Thanks for bringing it up. Now it's stuck in my
but
head.
you just brought up the casket being assembled there. That's what made me think of it.
Yep. But also, I think it's because they had the setup, and it's just whatever the
No,
case is,
again,
it it fits the narrative of what takes
yes,
place later on. That's what I think right here. So
but you know what? It also makes sense because the reason why she didn't want to go into into the hospital and take the medicine is she wanted to die there. This is
yeah.
where she grew up. This is where she raised her family. So it does make sense. Okay. I don't need my kids. I don't need this my I don't need my kids. Man, I was having hard with that. I don't need my kids to see me dead for hours or days in the living room where we all grew up. All right. But that's just
Mm,
me. All right. It's
yeah.
my
No.
kids. They can do whatever they
Yeah.
want. I'm
No.
dead. All right. I
Yeah.
don't care. I'm dead.
Well, it's funny that you bring that up because as we are collectors of things, it looks like his mom was also a collector. She was a collector of cats, right? Bunch of porcelain cats. She was allergic to real cats, but she loved them, so she had a whole bunch of these cats. So Blessing's wife said, "Hey, we got something planned. How about you grab one
I
of these cats, and then you pay your respects, and then give a little
I
speech."
I was waiting for Oprah to come out. You get a cat, and you get a
You
cat.
you get you right, and then that's when
And,
I brought up to you. I'm like, would you start? Would you put that in your will? It's like, all right, you get a jail. You no, you get a knockoff. I didn't like
no,
you. Who
no,
invited you?
because what if that one person that I don't like, but I just didn't tell my kids is there, and they pick
Oh,
like 00 snake eyes, right?
oh.
Or they,
He's
they
gonna
and they're
pick it.
like,
He looks
oh,
over and he pops the head off in the casket. Look what I did. Look what. Oh. What?
um, I thought it was funny though when it comes time they tell Dexter, who just met her, to pick a cat. He picks like this.
The biggest one. The
It's like this.
biggest.
It's like this.
Yeah, it was big. It's like so cradling, and I was hoping that he would start stroking it, just like yeah, it was.
It was
This
the
is
size of a cat, though. I
yeah,
mean,
it
it
was
was the
huge.
size of a cat.
Oh yeah, oh, yeah, it was big. But he says, "Hey, she good food. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, because he's like put on the spot,
family.
and he's like, he had no idea.
Yeah, he didn't know, but he's like, it was good food, and she loves her family. And then you see Joy getting teary eyed, and that was a cue for him. He touches his eye a little bit, like, and he walks off. So that was good. This if there's not many gripes with this show, right? We pretty much like it. This episode had some gripes for me, and it was this. I feel this was going kind of long uh, because we get two segments of this. This was still the first, and then of course we come back to this. But yeah, we get Blessing. He comes on and he says, she was everything to me. She was his. She brought him life. She gave him life and
Yeah,
in a way second life, and we get more info on that later on in the episode. But yeah, it was interesting because everybody started coming up to the casket doing it, and I was like, oh wow, this is, remember the best friend, right? She was like one of the
yeah.
first ones. And I don't know, I feel like whenever I watch a show and the show starts pointing out key characters or certain characters on camera and giving them a few lines, that there has to be a reason. Oh, you're showing me this for a reason. Is this person going to die, or is this person going to play a key role later? Is this why they're being introduced now? Like the best friend situation. She was an older lady. Why did they go straight to that? They could have just said, "Hey, Dexter, you're new to this. Hey, grab a cat." They went with the best friend, and then they kept going down the line. Maybe it's just me.
I think it may be they're just trying to show how loved she was,
Yeah.
but she is going to play a part, or her essence with Blessing. I think is going to play a part by the end of the season.
Yep, yep, yep. But you know what? Dexter also has someone that loves him. That person is Leon. Leon loves all his serial killer friends, and he likes to check up on them. And he calls them up. Now, we had the question about, like, oh, how do you call him? Well, he has two phones. Now, we don't know this, and Dexter didn't bring this up with the voice in his head. He likes to narrate everything, but he didn't narrate this. When the phone rings, yeah, it's Leon, but is that the burner phone? I'm assuming because remember all the
Uh,
serial killer friends were giving him that, or was it the personal phone?
I would assume it's got to be it has to be the burner phone. Why else
Right.
would he give it to him? If I have your phone number, you don't want I mean, if he ever got caught, he wouldn't want those numbers, or he wouldn't want people tracing those numbers back. So maybe
Look,
that's why, because you brought up the question of how are the so Leon is outside his house and he says, I'm outside your house. You're not here.
yeah, yeah,
And I like this part because Dexter, he didn't know what to say. He was confused, and I think he does. I think Michael C. Hall does a wonderful job of acting very confused at the time, like how you really would be. He's dumbfounded.
mhm,
But then he goes into, yeah, you're right. I'm not there, and I'm never going back. He asks when you come back. He says, I'm never coming back. And you kind of
yeah,
see Leon get confused, almost like he was about to get angry, and he's like, you've already had Charlie break in. I wasn't gonna go back there. And that's when
yeah,
he's like, that's right. You did the right thing.
yeah. It makes perfect sense, especially with the whole thing going on with Lady Vengeance. I don't
Yep.
know. Leon doesn't know. What if they were hanging out and he doesn't know, and Red doesn't really know Lady Vengeance that well. Maybe they did go back to her place. Who knows? Safety precautions. The guy is a killer. He's trying to clean up his tracks. Makes
Yeah.
sense. And Leon accepts it, like you said. He was like, oh yeah, okay. But my whole thing was, if it is a burner phone, if I am a Leon who seems to like to take control of all these situations here, you would think he would have some kind of GPS tracking on them. Like that wasn't just to be nice to call them up. It's more like to know where they are at all times. That's just me.
But
Maybe not.
but do burner phones have GPS on them? And I
These could be
honestly
high.
don't know that.
No, I no. Well, burner phones usually are cheap phones. The cheapo
Yeah.
ones you get at like a gas station. I don't know if these are the cheaper ones. They didn't show the brand. Leon has money for days, right? He's just handing out money. So I would think he could spring for some high
Yeah. I
quality,
mean,
but
it wasn't something that I thought of until you brought it up, and it kind of does make sense. So,
yeah.
but
All right.
I have a feeling, like I said, they seem to fill in the blanks, and maybe that will get filled in later on. Or maybe we missed something. Maybe we missed when they handed them out and said, "Hey, these don't have GPS. You don't have to worry about it."
Right. Yeah, that you would think that would be something they would slip in there because that's a question. That's a valid question people
Yeah.
want to know. It's like, leave in the comments, people, if we missed that, if that was addressed, or if you think, hey, yeah, that didn't make any sense. But one of the things I think that happened here, that it was during the same scene, but it was really quick with Harrison, where he was introduced to Joy and Blessing. That was when they showed up, and then he went off to
Yeah, that was
wander off
right
in his car.
right when they walked in there.
Yeah, yeah. Not
Very,
much
very
happened with
quick,
that.
and
Yeah.
I think it was just to get Harrison out of the shot. He didn't really need to be there,
Oh yeah, yeah.
but
No.
it also showed now Blessings like, I'm so glad that you reconnected with your son, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it also let Harrison know that other people do know that he was shot, because
Mhm.
daughter says something about the gunshot, and
Yeah, the
then he says, "Oh, I've
healing.
been doing acupuncture."
Mhm.
So,
I think that also just lets Harrison know that Dexter's genuine when he says he loves him and that he missed him, because he's talking about him
yeah,
to people that he made friends with. And now it's something that Harrison brought up. He's like, man, how long you been here? It's like a few weeks. And you know all these people? He's like, I've been here months and I know no one.
I've been here 3
Besides,
months. I haven't met
right?
anyone other than the
Well,
girl that
that's
I'm in love with.
exactly. And that's why I'm obsessed. She's the only girl I ever met here. So, first come, first serve,
Elsa.
right? But don't Elsa. All right. So, like you said, it was quick on the spot with Dexter trying to figure out what to say. But the key out of all of this is the answer is, well, get ready. You need to meet me at my place, because that was the whole reason I'm here, to pick you up. Right. So get to my place
Yep.
as soon as possible. It's like, oh, okay. Well, I guess that's going to happen. And then I think shortly after, if there was a quick jump, and we see Harrison just walking around the streets, right?
Yeah, we see Harrison, and he walks by, and there's college, like it's for college, and he picks up the flyer, and he looks at the tuition and sees how much it is, and then quickly just discards it, throws it in the garbage. Um, and I think that was just to say later on in the episode, oh, I looked at them. And then Elsa kind of like, man, she kind of shoots him down pretty hard.
Yeah,
That's what I
yeah.
felt. But we'll talk
Well,
about that.
yeah. That was, but I think it was because it was customer service. Yeah, we'll definitely get with that. But he just, it doesn't look like that would be a good fit. I think that's what it was. It wasn't so much. It was like, you college, you're sharp as a marble. What are you talking about? No,
And
I
I
think it
think
was
that's
more.
something that could have been ignored, but they didn't. But who
Yeah.
knows? Maybe later on it's going to come into play.
Yep. All right. So then we get the
But I don't
guy
know.
from. Yep. We get the guy from the bar. He's being interviewed. I can't say interrogated because he was the victim here. So he's there
Yes.
with Wallace, detective over here, Sherlock Holmes, and her side piece there, guy there. He doesn't really do much. He just yeses and questions, but doesn't really contribute much. But they start asking.
He doesn't
Go
do
for it.
anything. Oh,
Yeah.
he's more like the voice of reason, where again, Detective
Uh-huh.
Wallace is the one that she's grilling. She's not sure, and all the questions are perfectly fine, except it's leading them away that, well, wait a minute, it doesn't seem like she killed him.
Yeah. Yeah, because right when he gets to the one line, because he starts repeating everything that we already know, but then says that she was having a thrill, saying that this was going to be her first kill in New York, and they were like, "Wait,
Yes.
she said that?" I was like, "Yes, she said that."
He
And so
also,
now,
well, the other thing was when Dexter called it in, he said, I heard her say Lady Vengeance, like she was very loud about it, and they were asking how she was. She was cool as a cucumber, literally what he said.
yeah,
And so there's conflicting, there's two conflicting things of the person that called it in, and obviously what he's saying,
yeah,
which is leaving
Wallace,
doubt in Wallace's mind.
yeah, because and back, I think this is they go back to the precinct. They start trying to figure this out. Well, they're in the precinct, but they go out to the room, and she's still not buying it. It's like, well, it doesn't. It's not the same mo. He never talked about chopping him up. That wasn't the guy. I think at
Yeah.
this point he was in the room. He's like, "What? That was not supposed to be next? What the hell?" It's like, no, but that's not her stuff. But here's the issue with the other detective. He's like, "Well, she always goes after sexual predators. This guy doesn't fit the mold." That's not true because Lady Vengeance said that she went after other ones. So
No. I already thought about this.
Okay.
So the only kills that they know about of hers are sexual predators. She
Gotcha.
goes on to say, I just like to kill. So the way that I took that is I kill, but I don't let people know. When it's a sexual predator is when I leave my calling card.
I got you. All right. So, all right. Yeah, that's right. That makes sense. So the ones that fit her style and her brand, we should say,
Yes.
then she leaves a calling card. But when she just gets that urge to kill, that's just a random John Doe.
Because
In
it's
the
not just
woods.
them that think it. It's Leon and all of them. They think the same thing.
Yeah. But then Batista just walks in, just hanging around. It's like, hey, listen, I'm telling you, this is not your one. This is not it. It was like, what do you mean? And then says exactly what Wallace over here, Sherlock Holmes, wants to hear because it doesn't fit. It's like none of this adds up, and I know why. And then he brings up everything that we already know. He's spilling the beans. He's putting it all together.
He is.
Like, I think Harrison killed Ryan, not this one. Dexter Morgan, a co-worker. The whole Babe Harbor Butcher. She was like, yes, I know about. Was it Dokes? It's like, no, we thought that, but no, I think it was another coworker. I got a lot of crazy coworkers. It was this other one. Shows a picture. Dun, 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 right? It was this coworker. What's his name? Isn't Dexter Morgan? Morgan? I know a Morgan. Yeah, his son Harrison. And she steps forward. I know a Harrison. Yes. She's getting excited. She was like, yeah.
Okay, I did have a problem with this because she's already wondering, right? Now, you don't need to be Batman to be like, okay, let's think about this. This was never her MO, right? The MO of the guy that was mutilated. But that was the Bay Harbor Butcher. And I worked with this guy, Harrison, and his son just happens to be here, right? Yeah, I'm like Dexter's son, Harrison, just happens to be here. And you just happen to be questioning him. Like, right at that point, I think that they should all be like, "Yep, she
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
do
yeah.
it. This has something to do with them."
Too many coincidence.
Yes, too many
Come on.
coincidences. If it was
Too many.
one, that's one thing, but too many.
Too many. The MO, and he fills in the blanks. He was like, "Well, how did
He
Dexter
filled
get?"
in a lot.
He's like, "No, this is how he did it. He finds this. This is what the Bay Harbor Butcher was known for, killing serial killers. He tracks them down, and then
Yep.
he could have planted that to help his son. So wait, so he killed Ryan? No, his son did it. His son did it, and Dexter left because I was with him upstate when he was in a coma. At this
Okay.
point, it almost sounds like a soap opera.
But this is where they made a mistake, and maybe it was just the wording of it. They say, "So you think Dexter killed him?" And he says, "Nope, he was in a coma when it happened. He wasn't in a coma. He had already come out of the coma, and he was recuperating because he wouldn't have been able to get up out of the coma and leave.
Yeah.
He had to come down right away to take
Mm,
care of
mm.
everything."
Well, if anything, he could have said we were upstate. I was with him. There's no way
Yeah.
he could have made it in time. He was still in the hospital,
Yeah.
recuperating, doing rehab, but there's no way when that took place. But it doesn't matter. It does make sense. But he says, "Hey, listen, I'm going to help you out. This is how we're going to solve this." How? Well, next time you go visit Lady Vengeance, let me tag along. I'm going to show a picture of Dexter, and if she recognizes him, there we go.
And I will
Case
say,
solved.
this is what I liked about this is that the one guy, Oliva, he doesn't seem really on board. Where Wallace, she's listening to him, and he just tells him, "Hey, we've all had that one case. This is
Mhm.
my case." And he pointed to a case that she obviously hasn't been able to solve. And he's like, "This is my one case." And then she was like, "Sure, let's team up."
Right, there we go. It's Columbo all over again. Here we go. I got this case. We got. Oh boy,
And then we have Dexter showing up to the serial killer lunch.
there we go. Right, hey, who's alive? Who's not? We got Al that's there. Right, we got Gemini, Gareth. He's there. Of course, Leon. They're trying to figure out what to do next. This is They're worried. They're worried about Mia flipping. Lady Vengeance. Is she gonna flip?
Yes. And they are assured that she's not going to flip.
Yeah. They definitely are. We heard that before. Lady Vengeance says, "I know how this works." We already experienced that with the other serial killer that we saw, Charlie kill. Remember?
Detroit.
Yep. One in Detroit. So she already said, "Listen, I know how this works. I'm not going to say anything." Da da da. But then Charlie did say, "Your stay here is going to be short." She didn't say how she was
Yes.
going to get it. That was going to be addressed.
And see, that's
But
what I had assumed that meant, like they were going to kill her. It's going to
yeah.
be short and
Mhm.
did she say painless or something? Not very painful.
Yeah, something like that. It's gonna be comfortable but short, or something like that. We're gonna make it as comfortable as possible and short.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, what we're gonna get a good lawyer and get him. How do you get out of a situation like that? You got the guy all hanged up. At first, though, now that I think about it, really quick, it just came in my head and it popped out when they were asking the guy from the bar questions like, "Hey, did you initiate sex or anything?" So we're like, "No, I just wanted conversation. We didn't even get that. She was really
Yeah.
pushing." Because I was thinking, what is Lady Vengeance saying that he wanted all of this? Was she trying to argue this for her defense? But that never came up. So I don't think
No.
she was. I think that
The
was
guy was
just
pretty
Tom trying
honest.
to.
He's like, "Listen, this normally doesn't happen to me." So
Yeah.
I went home with her.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, sure he did it. But back at the party, they're trying to figure this out. Gareth is still thinking, Gemini is like, no, she's gonna break code, and Dexter's like, no, she won't break code. She told me about the code, so why would she do? It's like, nope,
And-
I don't trust them. They all do it when they're under pressure and they're locked up. That's just what
And
happens.
It sounds like Gareth is he's the most high profiled serial killer that they're dealing with.
Yeah, he likes to
And
brag about that.
yes, and he feels like I could be the one that they use. And we kind of find out why he's such a
Mhm.
why he's such a high profile one later on.
Yeah, he's really full of himself. But Leon wants to smooth things out, and how do you smooth things out? With money. He's like, here's some spending cash. Go relax, let's have a good time. But what I don't know is why is this party still going on? Like, what's the end result for this? You know what I mean? Okay, where are we hanging around again? What is something happening at the? Is there a big event that we're supposed to partake in at the end of the 3 weeks or so? I don't know.
I think we'll find out.
Right there, we'll
I hope
probably find
so.
out. Something has to happen, but
And then we see Charlie go see somebody. Doesn't really.
it's the
Doesn't
mom.
really.
She says,
Then-
"Mom." That's it. It was really quick.
No,
She said, "Mom."
no. This one she went and saw the other guy and says we need something done. She sees the mom after.
Oh, the guy at the OTB.
Yes.
Or just a gambling. Yeah, he just
Gambling
lost
guy.
some money. That's right. That's right.
And there's nothing to it. There's no explanation. We find out later on in the episode what and who he is.
Oh yes. But oh wow, really? Yeah. Wait.
Yeah. So then quickly right after that, this is where Dexter follows
That's
Gareth to the it was the library or the bookstore?
It was a bookstore.
Library.
It was a bookstore.
Okay.
It was a bookstore. Yep.
And I'm sorry, like it's like, do you like is this guy not gonna notice you? Like it didn't make any sense. Like, is this guy not gonna notice you?
Yeah, I mean, old school Dexter, and not even that old school. Maybe a few episodes back, Dexter would have wore a baseball cap. What he was just talking about the hoodie wearing at a wake.
He's in a suit, like
yeah.
very obvious, and he's literally like he's looking at him as much as you and I are looking at each other, and we're through the through the screen, you know. So he wasn't like hiding behind a book. He's like right there.
Yeah,
He's like
that's. I mean, what if anything? But then he was looking up also on his phone at the same time before that. Remember, and he was looking at seeing what kind of kills and
what kind of killer he is, and he's one now. Again, he's killed a father and son. That you see that, and we know that this is obviously touching on Dexter's heartstrings right now because he feels he finally has a connection with his son.
Yep.
Yes, I mean, who doesn't want to be a father-son serial killer?
But that's the thing. That's his MO, right? That we found out. That's the whole thing. Is that Gemini, he kills them in pairs because they always say, "Hey, you're born alone." Well, I do them a service. You know, they go out with someone else. But so he's walking around, sort of sneaking, if you want to call it that. Notices that Gemini pulls a book out. It's about serial killers. He puts in a bookmark, puts the book back on the shelf, and walks away. Dexter wastes no time going up, finding that bookmark, seeing that there's a little note on the back. Go for it. Tell the story here.
This is a pet peeve of mine in anything.
Yep.
Anytime in a movie, TV show, or whatever, that someone is following someone and they do something and the person walks away and they instantly go there. All right. Maybe I'm just a paranoid person, but I'd be like, I'm going to give it a little bit of time. I'm also going to watch to see how far away they get. And then I'm coming back here.
Just wait till they go downstairs because they were upstairs. Yeah. Wait till they go downstairs.
It's a small pet peeve of mine.
But you know what? I got the answer for you real quick though. It's TV land. In TV land, they're running out of time. They can't wait. So they have to get to it. All right. You moved out of scene. Next, go, Dexter. That's it. Just get to it.
So he goes and takes a look at the book and he sees where the bookmark is. And it says 8 p.m. And this is where Dexter is really starting to realize what an arrogant prick this guy is. He's really full of himself because he feels like he's the smartest person in the room.
Do you believe in him? Well, we'll get into it. Yeah, go ahead. Keep going.
Do I believe in what?
No. We'll get to it. Remember when he starts talking about he was the head of his class, this and that, and he starts all his accolades. It was all that BS. I wonder.
I have a couple feelings on. I have a couple ideas on that. So anyway, he looks. He sees 8 o'clock. he says, well, you're not going to meet him today. So he takes it out. But then he decides to see if he's in the book, or at least the Bay Harbor Butcher. And he starts scrolling through it, and then sure shit, there is the Bay Harbor Butcher, and there's a picture of Dokes, which I don't think bothers him at all. You know what I mean? Like,
no, he didn't want to take credit. He wasn't that type of killer. So
these serial killers, they want to be known when they're caught. Dexter doesn't want to. So he doesn't care that Dokes is the one that has I'm not saying takes credit, but gets credit for his kills. But he sure has an issue with the what is it? The passenger.
Yeah, the passenger thing tipped him
really
off. Yeah, he got peed off on that. But hey,
that's what he lost himself, and like no one else knows it. But like, God, don't you dare do that.
I think because it taints. It was his what he called himself. That was his inner thing. That was his own little secret. And to hear called out and linked to someone like this, that was too much for him. He just couldn't take it.
Yeah,
just couldn't take it. But definitely. But yep. Go ahead.
Nope, you were about to say something.
Oh no, that I think that's it. It's Charlie that she goes to the hospital, visits her mom, and says, "You wouldn't believe what I did today."
This is really weird. The whole mom thing is kind of weird because there's no real interaction. Other than Charlie obviously has some sort of affection for her mom, at least that we think, but her mom is useless.
The only connection that I see the mom to fit in all of this is the financial connection. This is why Charlie is working for Leon, because she said he pays very well, the whole thing. She needs the money to help her mom in the hospital. That's the only connection. I don't think there's something deeper with the mom. I don't think there's a connection with the mom for anything else within this world. I think this is just so that way we could see, why does Charlie work for Leon? Why is she doing this? Oh, this is why she's doing this. So she can pay the medical bills.
What I will say. I'm glad, like, they're putting it in there. They make it really quick. They don't drag it out or anything. Like, like Reacher. This is Reacher. This would have been a 4-minute.
Yeah. This would have been a whole thing, and then you're like, "Wow, does this matter?" I'm like, "No, it doesn't." But we had to fill up time. There we go. Oh man, I really hope Terminal List doesn't have that. That's another show we're covering. People we're looking forward to that Dark Wolf, but hopefully no fillers. I mean, the first season didn't have much, but maybe it's just tied to Reacher. Maybe it's just a Reacher thing. All right, but yep, we got Harrison. Go ahead.
Yeah, Harrison's talking to Elsa, and that's the girl he's in love with, and
and the only girl he knows.
Only person he knows other than serial killer dad.
Oh boy, what a life! What a life!
Goes to detective now.
Straight up lie. Realize that's a lie because he's got the other dude, the valet guy that he hangs out with. Remember with the cars?
Yeah.
What happened to him?
He's not even in this.
Right? He's not even in.
I guess no, the guy he was mad. But he actually got mad about the truck thing.
Yeah. You sold me a hot truck. Yeah.
Well, I guess I can't blame him. Might be
he lost a friend. Well, then shout out for Harrison for moving on and just out of sight, out of mind. When he said he had no friends, there you go. You're right. You lost them. You're down 1 from 2 to 1. You know.
Yeah. So he goes, but he goes to Elsa's. She basically says, "Hey, make sure he does his homework or whatever, play basketball."
Yeah, because he agreed to babysit because that was really quick while he was at job. So he had to do a double or something like that, and he offered to babysit.
Yep, and this is where they foreshadow everything. Make sure that he has the nebulizer is over there. Now, if you don't know what a nebulizer is, when you have bad asthma or any type of lung issue, you plug it in the wall normally. You have to put stuff in. It is basically a high end. Yeah, it's a high end. Well, what are people asking me?
It's definitely now they give that
jitters. You get jitters. Have you ever used one?
My brother did. My brother,
Oh,
Josh, who was on the channel, he had that as a kid. He doesn't have to deal with it anymore, but yeah, as a kid, he had some breathing
my
issues, and
my
he had a
my
nebulizer.
ex and my son, they have had to. I've used it before. It'll open you up, but you will get jitters. Oh my god,
Mm.
you want to talk about? All
Oh
right,
man,
yeah, try it one
yeah,
day.
yeah. Why not? I'll do it on
Try
you. but
What episode?
a whole episode of nebulizer. I'll do a live stream for 8 hours.
Right now, people are going, "You're not straight edge. You did the nebulizer." I
Oh,
only
see,
did it when I needed to. All right, it was prescribed.
oh, now Larry's making exceptions. Look at him, typical user. Make exceptions, excuses. But I really thought here he was going to screw up because when she said, "Hey," there was a bunch of rules. One, like there was dinner in the stove, make sure he eats. Right. Two, get a nebulizer. Three, have him sleep in my room, not his room, because there's mold. And then we get into really quick the whole thing with the landlord. Oh, she told the landlord about the mold. He said he isn't going to deal with it. She can't move because it's rent controlled. She's just going to stay there and deal with it. Can't afford, to move out, the whole thing. So he says, all right, whatever. But it was really quick, but it's key information for what takes place later.
Yes. Which I didn't see that happening, to be honest. That seemed too
wouldn't.
obvious. It seemed too obvious.
Which part? The part with the kid needing the nebulizer, or
The
with
landlord showing up.
Yeah, no. That wouldn't happen. Honestly, that wouldn't happen because it was late. A landlord is not going to show up late night now, unless they want. No, sorry, take that back. I take that back. I had a landlord one time show up at like 9 o'clock at night, and I was very surprised. And he's like, "Oh, I was just in the neighborhood, figured I'd pick up the rent." I was like, yeah, I guess so. All right, but yeah. See, I wasn't gonna. I forgot all about that. That did happen. He wasn't a prick like this guy, but he did ask. He was like, "Hey, I was in the neighborhood. Yeah, do you have that rent?" I was like, "Yeah."
So, but this is where we see Dexter. Dexter goes. He ends up back at Blessings, and they have 3 bags of ice. So he's helping the son-in-law,
Sam, yeah.
who has 2 bags of ice, and Dexter's carrying 1. And Blessing goes ballistic because he was told to get 1. He has 3. He's gonna flood his living room. Okay, I know there's huge bags of ice. Also, quick tip for anyone: you can go to Arby's and they sell bags of ice, so you can just go through the drive-thru. You don't have to stop at 7-Eleven or a gas station. Bet you didn't know that.
Well, no, I didn't know that. Oh, how about
I
this?
didn't know that either till one day someone told me. I'm like, BS.
Out of all places, Arby's, really?
Arby's.
I would have
go by Arby's and you can say, "I just want to order a bag of ice."
They're like, "We got the beef and ice." It's like, nice. That's a combo I want. Nice, fresh on ice.
They get like a 5-pounder. I think, I don't know. And we've done it numerous times, but you can go to Arby's.
You know what?
Maybe
Why
it's
not?
changed, but
I'll try it one of these days, and then I'll
go
just
in
take
there.
out my phone and
Go
we'll
get a roast
record
beef.
it.
Go get a
and
roast
see.
beef and say, also, do you have a bag of ice? Now you're kind of committed to buying the ice, which, but at least you get the roast beef. And also, if you go to Arby's, ignore the fries. Ask for the mozzarella sticks. Oh, they're so good. Anyway,
All right.
I'm getting
Well,
hungry.
but here's this thing. He gets on this rant about the ice and he's upset and all this stuff. Oh, the freezers. And I'm like, what about a cooler? Whenever you have any of these things, these type of events, I don't put anything. I have a cooler.
That's what I thought. Just throw it in the cooler. Plus,
Always.
the ice probably costs you like, I don't know, $5.
Yeah. And even if they have a house, but even in apartment situations, I've gone to house parties. They don't say, "Oh, we have everything in the fridge." No, they have a cooler that's on the side
What
in the
do you
kitchen.
need ice for if you're keeping everything in the refrigerator? No, I'm with you. I was like,
Yeah, that does.
I usually get yelled at for only coming back with 3 bags of ice.
I was like, "Oh, did you bring any booze?" Well, you know about me. Yeah, the party pooper. Thanks for the ice. Give me there. Right? Oh, we got this guy over here. I bet he didn't chip in for anything either. I told you I don't drink. Oh, that's your excuse? All right. Not even a bag of chips, no Lays, nothing. Oh boy, look at you.
That's when
But
you don't eat anything there until they're like,
right,
no, it doesn't matter. Don't worry, just eat something.
yeah. But like, don't worry, you're not coming to the next party. That's all.
Eat whatever you want. We're not inviting you.
Exactly. Exactly. Like, whose birthday is it next week? Don't worry about it.
Don't worry.
Don't worry. We got your number. We'll call you. We're done with this.
This has nothing to do with Dexter anymore.
Right? That's it.
Um,
It does, because then Dexter is like, he's not sure with all this, but he says, I'll take the ice. And I was like, oh, that's perfect, because then he could use this in his tub for whatever comes
Yeah.
next. And it does come next, because once he goes downstairs, surprise, surprise, Gareth is there, Gemini. And he was like, why were you following me? Why were you there? Shoot. Quick again, shout out to what you said before about having Dexter has to be quick with his comments and his thoughts. Remember with Leon and on the phone, unexpected, same situation. So he has to be quick. And he's well, I'm a super fan. You're just amazing. I've always been a fan. And then he just playing off the ego that he knows that Gemini has, and it works.
And when Gemini says, which is Gareth,
yeah,
and he says something about always being the smartest person in the room. And Dexter, if you're not like when you're trying to watch the website, when you're trying to write notes down like I am, sometimes you hear Dexter say stuff and you don't know if he's thinking it or he's saying it. That's been one of my biggest problems so far.
Oh,
because I'll be writing something down and I hear something.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you know exactly that he's that it's in his mind. Other times you're like, why would you say that? But he pretty much says like, man, the ego on this guy.
Yeah, he definitely has it.
So, but he did ask him who the note was for, and he said it was for me. Now, I really didn't even get this till we started the episode, and I went, okay, now it makes sense. So he wasn't the one. I don't know how you interpret it. He was not the one that put the note in it.
No, he was the one to pick up the note.
Yes.
That was it. And that goes back to your whole, you should give some time, before you go pick up something that was left on a shelf from someone just to see what happens. And I think that's what happened. He walked over just when Gemini was walking over. And it's like, oh, wow. And since Dexter is no longer on high alert because he's like, oh, well, who's going to be following me? There you go. Now this guy's here.
Yeah.
But there we go. Dexter's still being quick with everything. He's like, hey, you want a gin and tonic? You want a drink? Like, yeah, why not? Okay. It's like, all right, I'll make you a drink. And he's just trying to do small talk and doing all this stuff. And the guy keeps talking on and on about himself. We get a lot of Dexter narrating. He's like, man, I can't believe how full of himself, because he's talking about how he's the number one on the FBI list. He's like, don't worry, Red, you're probably a number 2. It's like, oh.
So I have to say this, though. He plays the same character as he did in Murderbot.
Yeah.
Like his ego is the exact same, and he's played this in plenty of other shows.
You've seen him in other shows? You've seen him before?
He was in Ant-Man.
He was in Ant-Man. Oh.
Yeah, he has a foreign accent in Ant-Man, but he's still kind of the similar.
Okay.
Yeah, he's one of the guys that was in prison.
Okay.
He got out.
All right. So then, hey, he fits a role. It's like Danny Trejo, right? Yes. Danny Trejo. I mean, he gets typecast, but I think it works for him.
Yeah, I got another story about that guy, but we're gonna.
No, here we go. That'll be for the TV terminal after dark.
Yes.
The dark stories that we have.
So yeah, they're just talking, going back and forth. He asked me if he wants a gin and tonic. I don't drink. But when he says, oh, I would love a G&T, I was like, that is one of the most cringe things I've ever heard in my entire life. And I feel like someone would punch you for saying that. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. But
I casually drink beer, but I'm not big with drinks, mixed drinks, all that stuff. I don't bother with that. It gives me an upset stomach.
I'm sure I do this at times. I have a huge issue when people abbreviate things and it's still like almost the same amount of syllables. like a gin and tonic. It's not a long. It's not a long 2 words. A B&T.
A
Why
BLT?
can't you
You
say?
want a BLT?
See,
A
that sounds
BLT?
pretty good
That sounds
with
good.
no
Well,
mayonnaise.
they're pretty tasty. I
Mayonnaise
don't
is
like
nasty.
tomato. Tomato gives me acid reflux. So it's just like
Well, it gives me
taking
acid
a break.
reflux too, but it's a milder.
Oh, it doesn't. It does when I can't sleep. I'm like, oh my God.
It actually makes me sweat. Like tomato paste, sauce, like tomato sauce, stuff like that. It
What?
makes me yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
My ex was the one that she noticed it, and she's like, "You're always sweating." I'm like, "I sweat whenever I eat this stuff. And I eat a lot of crap."
No.
And she's like, "I
Oh,
think you're allergic to it."
it could be. Well, as you get older, you get allergic to. I wasn't allergic
No,
to.
I was younger when I was with my
Oh yeah.
ex.
Oh boy, we're learning some more stuff here.
Listen, there's a lot of things I'm probably allergic to that I just ignore. But
Oh,
that is
right.
for another
There
whole
you go.
episode, maybe a
People, if
whole
you made
nother
it this
channel.
far, give a like, subscribe, and tell us what are you allergic to? Are you allergic to us right now?
No, tell us what you tell your ex you're not, or your current wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, what you're not allergic to when you know it's gonna leave you in the bathroom, but you don't care
Oh,
because
it tastes
chocolate
so good.
shakes just taste so damn good.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. But you know what doesn't taste good? This gin and tonic with this special ingredient that Dexter put in. And then the guy doesn't
And
pay any mind. Gemini doesn't, he doesn't even suspect. I thought at first he was going to suspect because he kept saying he's the smartest guy in the room, right? Oh, top of my class,
very
this and that.
arrogant too, though.
So arrogant. Oh man, the head. I mean, if you could put like the helium in the balloon and see that image of it just blowing up,
Yes.
this guy, he might as well be pulling like a Chris Angel levitation because he swore he's like, I'm the best. I am everything. I knew it. So he's like, all right, here you go. Drink up. Cheers. They take some sips. The guy staring at him and then plops on the floor. There you go.
And
He's
then Dexter, who really isn't comical, he does a little spin and he's like, "Who's number one now?"
Yeah, right. Exactly.
It made me laugh.
Who's
Like,
number one now?
he
Man.
is very Dexter is very, very competitive when it comes to being a serial killer, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've noticed that. And I'm talking about throughout the series. He's very competitive.
He's very competitive, but he plays the role so well. And I take it all the way back to 6 Feet Under. Remember that show? Did you ever watch the HBO one?
I remember the name. I've never seen it.
Yeah, he worked at a morgue. It was an HBO show. It was him, his brother, his sister, parent died, passed away. He kept it going, but he took up the family business, and he had that stiff look, the straight face, delivering these really creepy, dark lines. It worked perfect. I'm sure that's how he got the role for Dexter. They're like, you know what? You're perfect for this. We got you, and it's worked out. But now we jump over to Harrison. This goes back to where they were running around. He was playing basketball, whatever, having breathing problems. He gives them the nebulizer. Okay, check that off the list. All right, because at first I was like, oh, this is where he screws up.
Now, this is why I complain, because kids should have had an inhaler. Now, you're still going to get the nebulizer, but it was like, take the inhaler. If you never used a nebulizer, it wasn't set up. All right, so he had to grab it, plug it in. Then you have to break open the little stuff, drop it in there, close it. Like, it takes process.
Time. It does take time. But again, just like with Dexter with the library, you don't have time. TV land.
Yeah.
But
again, if you would have just, or they could have even had it there, right?
Yeah.
Because she mentioned it. They could have already had it there and like, oh my God, let's get the nebulizer, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that just bothered me. But again, if you don't know how a nebulizer works, you probably don't. I do, because my ex and my son used it so much. But that just was a small little gripe.
Yeah. Oh, gripe. But you know what, Dexter? He's a good babysitter.
It survives.
He's a good babysitter. Yep. The kid survives. There you go. Check one off for being babysitter. Keep that. That's one of the goals, right? Keep the child alive under your care. And
that
it works
the
out.
Main goal. That is the main goal when you're babysitting.
You're right. Not just one goal, main goal.
You can forget to feed them dinner. You can forget to put them to bed.
Correct. Exactly.
It
was like,
candy.
I can see it now. It's just, hey, I clean the dishes. I put all the leftovers away. How's my son?
You had one job. You had one job.
My bad. I'm sorry. Can we date now, Elsa? Please. We can make another one. Okay, so they're keeping it dark. It is Dexter Resurrection.
Very
So
true. Very true.
he gives he reads the kid a story. All right, he's really nice. He's prepping for dad work here. He's setting
Yeah.
all the markers. I'm sure women watching this show, I'm like, yeah, there you go. Give him a shot. Yeah, he has no future plans, no career goals, but hey, he loves this kid, right? At least he shows it. He can fill in on that spot. But then there's a knock at the door. Now, do you recognize this actor? Now,
Oh,
remember, people, we watch it
oh,
and then we
I
talk
do.
about it. You do. Where's he from, please? Because I wanted to look him up and then we started
Oh,
recording.
okay. So you're gonna say it's from The Sopranos.
That is exactly what I'm going to say.
That's not where I'm gonna say he's from.
Okay, where do you know him from?
He is from Blue Bloods.
Oh, yeah, you in the cop show. That's
He
right.
is
You love that.
he is the detective that works with their sister, the DA. I cannot think of his name, and him and Donnie Wahlberg, they go back and
Okay.
forth all the time. That's how I see him. But
Well,
I
that's
think
more recent. Then that makes
Yeah,
sense because that's
but I
more
think most
recent.
people would think of him from The Sopranos because The
Yeah.
Sopranos was so iconic. Blue Bloods, I think, is one of those things. Like, I guess I started watching it, but I didn't watch like the first 9 seasons, and then I caught up on it,
That pulled you in. There's some shows that do that. For
and
me,
they're coming off with a spinoff where now he's leaving New York and he's going to Boston to be a
oh,
detective.
oh, okay. There we go. You know, I have my own little thing with that. I have Law and Order, Organized Crime. That is one.
Yes.
There's so many Law and Orders, but that one really pulled me in. I like that it's got one long story throughout the season. It's great. So yeah, I get it. All right.
And if
But
you
yeah,
didn't know this, they
Mm.
canceled Blue Bloods, and I thought they just wanted it to end, and they were like, no. It was still like the number one show or one of their top rated shows, but because of their salaries, CBS said we got to cut you.
that's usually how it happens. That was the Big Bang Theory. They had that issue. A few shows have had that where it just gets too big, and
Yep.
they're like, "All right, we gotta cut it," and then we'll work with some of you
But
who
then
are
they're
willing
going
to
to
work
bring
with
off a
us.
spin. Then they're going to bring
Yeah.
a spin off where he goes to Boston.
There we go. But then they're going to bring a bunch of other cast members that aren't making that type of salary. So you got one big high salary guy, and then everybody a little lower. Yeah, we get
And then
it.
they can bring the other guys in and
yeah, cameos. Yep.
oh yeah.
Yep. It'll work. We'll watch that. Why not?
I will.
But
I know I will.
yeah, there we go. Why not? Hey, people in
That'll
the
be one
comments,
of
let
those
us
ones
know.
I make sure I watch because I
Are
just
you?
like
Hey, that's that. We're interested. Are you guys interested in that spinoff? Same thing with Law and Order, Organized Crime. That's something I watch. Let me know to see. We have connects over there too.
Quickly,
We have a
totally
lot
off
of connects.
topic. Organized crime is completely different than the rest of the Law and
Yeah,
Order.
yeah,
Right?
yeah. Oh, it's
just
completely
that
different.
they use Stabler, and I know
It's
sometimes they've had some crossovers, but it's completely different than Criminal
no,
Intent, the original
yeah,
Law and
no.
Order,
Nope.
Law
He's
and
got
Order
it.
SVU.
He's got his own little unit and he
Yeah.
goes undercover and he does a full operation. And usually the season has 2 main big stories and he goes deep undercover and he's going to organized crime, whether it's human trafficking or drugs. The first season had COVID where they were smuggling in the vaccines and stuff and only giving it to the rich and stuff. It was crazy. But it's good. So people watch it. If you're interested, let us know. But let's get to this. We're just talking.
We're at an hour.
Right, look at that. This is going along, people. All right, but we're almost at the end. We got this. So the landlord banging on the door late night. I said I've had something similar, but never banging like this. This guy's a prick, just screaming at. He's like, "Who are you? Are you the boyfriend?" It was like, no, I'm not the boyfriend. I'm just a friend. You're a bad landlord. There's mold in the walls. I think by law, though, they have to get rid of the mold. You can't have mold in the walls. But he says, "Hey, I'm not fixing anything until she starts paying rent." We didn't know that, right? I don't think she ever mentioned that she was behind on her rent, right?
Yeah, she did.
So,
she said, "I'm not going to pay." She said, "I'm not going to pay."
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Until he fixes the mold. And I said to you, I go, "It doesn't work like that."
No. But that's one thing to say I'm holding out. It's nothing to be behind.
Yes.
So then he's
I
implying
don't know
she
if she
hasn't paid
said
in
she
a
was
while.
behind. I mean,
Yeah.
do they show up like if you're a couple days late?
It still wouldn't work this way. There's other laws in place, especially when it comes to mold, asbestos, lead paint chips and stuff. There's certain things that you can call call in the health department, and they was like, "Hey, you got to fix this regardless. You know, you got to fix this." But anyway, he's like, "No, I'm not doing it." And then we see Dexter just have this Harrison have this vision of just stabbing this dude in the eye.
The guy goes, he goes off. So before he gets this vision or this, it's not a vision. It's just a thought to do it. He's saying like, you have this mold, and the kid is sick. What does that say? And he says, "Sounds like it's a bad mother."
Oh yeah.
Which these are things that are going to infuriate anyone, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and then we see him stab him in the eye with a fork. And he's like, he's like, "Oh, my eye," and then we see the flashback where he didn't do it. It's what he wanted to do, and you see him drop the fork.
Damn. Oh man. Yeah. Shout out to the original Sheik for the fork. Shout out to Sabu. Let's point up. Yeah, they were known for using a fork stabbing. Stab. But yeah, that was something else.
I got a story about the Sheik.
Again, there you go. TV Terminal After Dark. There we go.
It has nothing to do with me. Just my dad says, he told me about when they used to go see wrestling, and he goes, the Sheik started like climbing up one day, like where they were at, and he goes, "This guy has a heart attack, like right by us."
Oh, that's not good. That is a story. All right. But we have another story here. They got Dexter Blessing coming over to visit Dexter. Now, here's it. Dexter kills this guy, right? He does it really quick. This, I don't know. Go ahead in the comments if you can remember from the old school Dexter days. Did he ever kill somebody without having them give their little thoughts? Usually he like lets them talk a little bit and he tells them who he is, and then he does them.
There's a couple things here. So he takes his sample.
Yeah.
And he has them all tied up. And
yeah.
But he never did it in his house, right?
No, maybe. But in this situation, he had no choice. This wasn't planned to do.
But that's what I'm saying. He's never. Yeah. He has the stuff out, and he needs to just get this done.
Yeah.
Because he can't risk someone hearing him do it. So yeah, he gets over and he basically, he said, "I'm just gonna be done with this."
Yeah.
And he just,
I've heard enough of you, right? I don't even need to hear anymore. Because the guy wakes up and he's like moaning and stuff.
And then Blessing comes to apologize, which he easily could have just, not said anything. I meant to ask, are there windows in this basement apartment?
Yes, they're low windows. They're like basement style windows, rectangular. Yep.
So I don't know. Did we see if they're covered or not? You would think that he would cover it.
You would think, but yeah, I mean, somebody would have to walk over to the window, hunch down, and knock. That type of deal. So I don't think he really was concerned by that. Plus, it was at night, and I don't know. But anyway, Blessing's banging on the door. He takes the body, he dumps it in the tub, closes the curtains, opens up. Like you said, Blessing comes in. This was the second part of all this. He starts getting real emotional, starts talking about his mom, gives a sad story back at was it Sierra Leone? That's where he was from. Like, he was a boy. He was a soldier. Where he's
from, but
he
was a soldier.
Doing bad stuff, and his mom saved him, and she took him to America and said, "Hey, you can give a second chance at life." He felt bad. A lot of his other friends didn't have that.
Someone.
Yeah, he killed
someone. He thinks about it all the time. And which is ironic because here Dexter just killed somebody else.
That is true. Yes.
But as he's going through everything, he asks about some Advil or some Motrin if he has anything.
Right before that, I think I did. Yeah. I have a little clipping from the Blessing. Yeah. This is a good one.
My childhood on you. I hope I haven't scared you.
Nope.
You're a good and gentle person, Dexter.
Tell that to the dead man in my bathtub.
I mean, this is something that we've seen from almost every Dexter episode. There's always somebody who swears Dexter is an angel, right? You're fantastic. You're a great, caring person. You're everything anybody would want. Meanwhile, he does all this horrible stuff. And like, here it is again. He's like, he said the whole story about my mom, said never let the bad things in and all this stuff. And he said, "You're a good person." He's like, tell the dead guy in the tub. And he almost does because he has a headache. And he says, "Where's the
Yeah.
aspirin?" Dexter blinks out a little bit and says, "Oh, in the medicine cabinet in the bathroom." Oh, wait, too late. He walks over.
Yeah, so he walks over. He's trying to catch up. First off, the place is not that big that he couldn't catch up to him.
Yeah,
But he goes in there, and I think there'd be some sort of trail. I know he was on the cart. I thought maybe the guy was going to make some noise or something. And as he gets the medicine, he looks over and notices that the shower curtain, the hook is off.
one of the rings. They always fall off.
And I said to you, every single morning I take a shower, one of mine pops off, at least one, if not two. And I just put them back on. And he's like, "Oh, what kind of landlord am I?" Like, it's the ring.
You're better than my son's wannabe girlfriend's landlord. I'll tell you that much. She hasn't met him yet, but I'm sure he will. I have a feeling Dexter and that landlord from hell will have a meeting at some point.
But then he's able to get him out, and we go on about our business.
So, I mean, I didn't think anything was going to come from this. Then what? What you think he's going to let bypass? He's going to have to come up with an excuse? Oh, this guy tried to rob me, and you came in, but he's taped up his mouth. I didn't want to ruin your special day. Your mom. Come on, I'm thinking about you, Blessing. I'm trying to look out for you in the party. Go celebrate.
That was. Yeah, I didn't think he was going to catch him because there was no way for him to get out of that.
Yeah.
But then we see Dexter burning the body, and we both ask the same question: how do you get the body out? You can't walk by Blessing's house and him not come out.
This was a reacher moment. That's what we'll just call it. This was a reacher moment. They just let time. You have to use your imagination. This is very late at night, 3, 4 in the morning. The party's over. Everyone's sleeping, and then he snuck the body out, and there you go. I mean, there was other questions here. He's clearly stabbed him right there on the floor, right? There could have been blood. Where's the blood? There should have been some blood somewhere. There could have been a smell. Once you die, your bowels.
He did have him on the plastic.
On the plastic. Okay.
So he was on the plastic because he drug him on the plastic. That's why there was no blood stain or anything.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. So I think what was it? The next day, that's it, right? Where were Dexter and Harrison at the diner?
Yes. And he talked about the landlord and what he thought, what happened. And to me, I'm like, all right, well, Dexter's going to kill him.
Right? That's what I'm saying. I was like, oh, it's a Cobra Kai situation. Kreese is going to show up, remember? He's going to handle the landlord. And it's like, this is what we do, right? Friends, we look out for each other. Cobra Kai. I just threw him off. He's like, whoa, that's right. He starts thinking about it. He was like, Tiger Claw, my favorite.
So he tells him, and it's like Dexter understands. He understands the whole situation, but then he goes into this big speech about how it doesn't make him a bad person.
No,
killing the other guy that makes him a bad person, but this does.
No, exactly. It was like, you get a pass for that. That's part of me. That's my bad. I showed you how to do all that, but this is different. But it's true though. It's like, hey, you have a temper. That just means you're human. You didn't act on it, right? We all get tempers. If you had road rage and you jump out and stuff, you'd be a maniac, right? We wouldn't be doing this show. You'd be in jail, So yes, it's good that he comes, and that is also showing that he's not going to pull Harrison into his lifestyle, because that was the whole thing here that I'm thinking. And even the show probably
seemed like he wanted to, but now he's seeing something completely different.
Yeah, because it's not like, hey, I'm going to show you what my dad showed you. We're going to follow the code. No. He's like, no, don't worry about it.
He's already brought that up to him, and he's already said, this terrifies me.
Yeah.
So I think in the end, we're gonna see Harrison ends up being just like Dexter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but he wants to help him. He wants to be there.
So then Charlie calls Dexter and says Leon has a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
He asks what it is, and she's like, "That's what a surprise is."
Right. That is true. That is what a surprise.
It's kind of the answer that I give when I say, "Hey, I got a surprise here for you." And like, what is it? I'm like, that's what makes it a surprise.
I do the total opposite. I was like, I got a surprise. What is it? I was like, it's blue cheese in a box. What? It's a surprise. You got to see. Of course, I'm not going to tell you, but I tell them some BS right off the bat. I was like, "What? You thought I'm going to tell you? Then why would I say it's a surprise?" So, oh my gosh. All right.
And
Then
then
with prison.
yes, and then we have the detective showing up to talk to Lady Vengeance. This is exactly what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah, I think we all did.
No, maybe not in this exact order, but I thought that she was going to be gone by the time they actually meet her. So they show up there, and of course, like on cue, the alarm starts going off. Security guards tell them to stay there. She's like, I'm not staying here. Okay, this is a prison.
Yeah,
All right, you may be a detective. This is a prison. You don't
Yeah.
get to decide where you're going. You are locked down.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Up she goes.
But sure enough, all three of them go. There's all three of them, right?
Yep. All three of them.
All three of them go
Batista's
there. And again, they're right in the hallway. Like, I'm sorry, like, and you can just see her feet hanging. They just say, try and get her down. They try and get her down, and she's gone.
She's
And
gone.
the person that checks her turns around and says, hey, she's gone. This goes back to the beginning of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
And now we see the person that Charlie went to when it was obviously gambling, and she handed him a bunch of money.
Yep. That was a guard.
Yes.
There we go. There's a lot here that's going on, and people can take this in different ways with current events.
Or former football players that may
Former,
no
yeah,
be around.
yes, exactly.
Which is another excellent TV series on Hulu.
Yeah, that was.
What was it called?
There was the Patriots player.
Yes, but
man, someone will put it in the comments. We're blanking, but we know what we're talking about with this player. Yes, he had
it won't be hard to figure out.
Yep, exactly.
Go watch it. That was good.
It was good. It was good.
Okay.
So then this is it.
Yep.
So so Dexter shows up at the pier. There's a chopper. What's it? Once he pulls in, Al knocks on the window and says, "We're getting on the whirlybird." I would have put the audio clip of how he said it, but there was music playing in the background.
So
Don't need any flags on this.
I'm having a hard time seeing him as anything other than what he played in Modern Family. And that's because he's playing a very similar style character, only he's a serial killer. Yeah. He's not like that in real life.
No.
Like completely different. But he's playing very similar to that. Yeah. And
I'm sure that's how he got the role. Yeah, I'm sure that's probably why they gave him the role. It's like, oh, wow, we need someone with that style of acting, that humor for this character, and you fit perfect. So,
and to be honest, if you ever watch Modern Family, his husband is the one that I would see more as a serial killer than him.
Yes. Yeah, you could definitely see that. But so he gets out, he goes to the helicopter now. Leon says, hey, I'm waiting for Gemini. And Dexter cracks a joke. He's ashes right now in a furnace. You're going to be waiting a long time. Type of deal. It's not happening. But I thought here that this was going to be one of those get moments. We talked about it before with, oh, you're vegan. I know you're vegan because of the food and what I found in the books. Had someone bring that up in the comments. Also, maybe they're going to catch him from another gotcha moment. And I thought this was going to be it because he says, are you afraid of heights or something like that? Right. And he says, no. So, and he gets onto the plane. And what if that was one of them too? If they say, like, hey,
I was thinking that too. I think we might be past that at this point.
Yeah, you think so? They're all right. So there's no gotcha. It's not going to happen.
Oh, I mean, we have 3 episodes left, right? I mean, so I think if there is, I think it's going to be right at the end.
Okay.
So would you see someone pull up? And then we see Gareth get out.
Yep. And he comes running over.
Absolutely shocked.
Yep. And he said, I couldn't believe it. This makes sense. Gemini 2. He's a twin.
Yes.
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. So the meeting at 8:00. What is that meeting? Because I wonder if that's going to come up. Was this an 8 a.m. flight? Were both of them? I don't think so. Right? We were both assuming that Leon doesn't know about the twin. He just knows Gemini. Just one.
Okay, so there's a couple of things here. During the serial killer luncheon, as we'll call it, the luncheon. This is where they know they're all gonna meet and stuff, right? Or well, they're gonna find out about this stuff. And he went and he was dropping something off. So I'm not really sure what he does because I'm perceiving as when he says, I'm perceiving it as when he says, it was for me. At first, you're thinking like, well, why do you need something for yourself? But in actuality, he was the one watching Dexter. That's how he knew how to meet him. And then he followed him back.
But
this guy here walking in, he was the one that left it for him.
Yeah, but I'm wondering, this probably isn't the one that was at the party then. If he's telling the other one 8:00 to meet up, like, hey, you got to get on this flight. You're gonna go on a trip tomorrow.
That's what I'm thinking.
All right. See, I'm sure that where we were guessing, and I'm sure it's going to be explained in the next
episode. But here's the other thing that I think that it's going to turn out to be. I don't think the one that's still alive is as smart as the other one. I think we're going to find out only one was the genius.
Yeah, definitely. This is a twist. And you know what's interesting with all this is that there's this twin situation happening here, and on the other show that we cover on the channel, Revival, that Josh and I are covering, there is a twin situation that's happening. So that seems to be the theme this year. Twins, the evil twins. Right?
And that's where it ends at.
And that's where it ends. Oh, man. There was a lot that happened in this episode. The story's still progressing. The only gripe I had was just a little bit too long with the funeral and all the blessings up, but it's fine. It wasn't horrible, but it went on.
I feel like it had to explain some stuff, and I think they did a good job. Again, I don't really see anything where, again, I hate that we go back to Reacher because we really did enjoy Reacher, but I feel like some of that stuff, and you guys might be going, you guys go on too long, and you're probably right.
There you go. Hey, if we already finished our thing, this is our thoughts, right? So thanks if you made it this far. Like, subscribe, come back next week. We're going to talk about the next episode, but go ahead. Keep going.
I think kind of lost my train of thought of what we were talking about. So I think that we're going to find out that this Gareth, the twin, isn't going to be as smart. The other one was really smart.
So you think this guy's going to fumble and start messing things up, or he's going to notice a difference?
Yes.
I could see that. The question is, where are they going? Now, the other thing that we know, Leon
Murder Island.
Murder Island. There we go. We could go and do that.
Epstein Island. It's empty right now.
There we go. We could definitely go over there and see what's happening. Maybe he'll say he bought it off of somebody who passed away, who was very wealthy. Right. It comes with all those little hidden hideaway rooms. Yep, we could see that.
Maybe going to Neverland.
Where wasn't that on like Atlanta? Wasn't that Georgia?
No, that was in California.
It was in California. Okay, but either way, I don't think it's going to be that far from New York. I don't think they're going on a long trip. Right. But the point I was getting at is just that he says for Leon that he has all these friends in high places and different things. So maybe there's going to be another meeting with some others. And we'll see where that goes.
He said that earlier Leon says he has the FBI, so he knows about things. If she rats, he'll know about it before anyone.
Yeah. He has friends in high places. So we'll see. Yeah, we have friends in high places as well in Dreamland, which is where we need to go. It's getting late, everybody.
Yes.
So
it's late for us. You guys don't know what time it is.
It's late. Yeah, well, I don't even know. Yeah, it's late. What time
I got work in the morning.
I have that too. Man, we gotta get up early. I'm tired.
It's not even midnight for you yet. It's almost 1 for me.
Well, yeah, I'm going to the club now. Right? That's what I'm doing. But hey, everybody, thanks for sticking with us through all this. This is our long form style. This is how we do it. We break it down. I say that in the summary, and as you see from the time, that's exactly what we do. So yeah, we'll be back next week for episode 7. And of course, thanks for checking out all the other shows on the channel. We got Chief of War, Revival, we got Terminal List coming up. So lots going on. And of course, I'm doing I got my game reviews at the Coalition. We got Lawrence doing all his reviews on the Punk with Toys. So check that out. He's always there. He's also doing live streams. If you're looking for just, hey, I want to hear this dude talk some more live. He does that Monday and Thursdays, and I do one on
Monday,
Throwdown.
Tuesday, and
Tuesday, Thursday, every other day of the week. That's right. It's expanding. All right, everybody.
So bad.
We'll see you. We'll see you later.
Take care.